What does this forest in the middle of Borneo have to do with Indonesia's energy future? The answer may lie in the controversial rise of biomass energy, a solution touted as part of a push towards sustainability. But as we dug deeper into these plans, we discovered a far darker story emerging and a looming threat to both the forests and the people who rely on them. In Indonesia today, coal is king, but the Southeast Asian nation has pledged to replace fossil fuels with renewable alternatives, and they are betting big on a resource known as biomass.
Dari mulai Paris Agreement. Nah, Paris Agreement waktu COP itu kan setiap negara gitu ya berjanji untuk berkontribusi mengurangi krisis iklim.
This is Amalia Reza, a researcher at the NGO Trend Asia. She's been researching the impact of bioenergy across Indonesia.
Sekarang didorong bentuk energi lain dari bioenergi gitu ya, yaitu biomasa gitu. Yaitu material organik padat gitu, yang ketika dibakar dia menghasilkan energi.
The most readily available form of biomass is often wood pellets made from timber grown on large plantations. Indonesia wants to create these plantations, make the pellets, and then burn them to produce bioenergy.
Penggunaan energi dari biomasa ini justru mengakibatkan deforestasi gitu ya, perampasan lahan gitu, dan justru menghasilkan emisi yang jauh lebih besar gitu daripada tujuan awalnya gitu ya untuk mengurangi emisi.
Companies are lining up to develop new areas of land to meet Indonesia's targets for biomass energy production. Indonesian officials have downplayed concerns about deforestation, saying there's ample non-forested land available for new plantations. Recently, however, Mongabay received a tip from the island of Borneo that told a different story, so we travelled to one of the most remote corners of Indonesia to investigate. This is Ibu Anggit, an indigenous Dayak man who knows the forest like the back of his hand. He can use the leaves, branches, stems and roots to make anything from an evening meal to a makeshift umbrella.
Kami besar dari hutan, dari makanan-makanan dari hutan yang bergizi, kami yang tahu dari hutan semua.
His community, Labanyaret, is one of at least 4 villages in the area that has negotiated with a company called MHL over the rights to use their land. Ipu says his land, including rich primary rainforest, was signed over to the company without his consent, a common issue in rural Indonesia where residents often lack formal land title.
Perusahaan MHL kan datang ke kampung, mereka nanam kayu itu, ganti batu bara. Itu dia, itu bahasa mereka.
MHL is a subsidiary of billionaire-owned coal firm PT Mitrabara Adiperdana. They've mined coal in this part of Borneo for years, but with the mine nearing retirement, the company says it wants to pivot to biomass energy. They say it plans to make use of previously cleared land for its plantations, but villagers we spoke to said much of the land signed over to the company is covered in rainforest. Ipu and his family say they haven't signed anything with the company, but MHL signboards have appeared and surveyors have begun mapping around their home.
Saya bilang, anak, sekitar ini, ku bilang, jangan anak ukur. Kalau anak maksa ngukur, ini bermasalah. Sampai titik darah pun anak, saya tidak kasih sekitar ini untuk perusahaan.
3 villages we visited, local residents and village officials told us, have already entered into agreements with MHL, leasing a total of 5,000 hectares to the company. We found that much of that area was covered in rainforest. A 4th village, Longlore, has so far rejected the company's advances, but they too said MHL had approached them about acquiring their forest land.
Hutan di dalamnya ada. Secara presentasinya kurang lebih 50-50, Pak. 50%-nya itu sudah kayu jakau, 50%-nya masih hutan.
We obtained maps of MHL's concession from villagers who had received them directly from the company. While it's not clear if these maps are absolutely final, analysis shows that around 3/4 of the company's concession is covered in rich primary forest and potentially at risk of being cleared by MHL.
Ya akan digundul. Kalau pohon-pohon yang berharga, ulin, kayu-kayu yang berharga masih banyak di hutan ini.
Indonesia has pushed biomass in the name of meeting its renewable energy targets, but the wood pellets to be produced by MHL aren't even intended for domestic consumption. A company executive said at a shareholder meeting in May that they intend to export them overseas.
Terkait dengan target pemasaran, tentu kita mentargetkan ini untuk pasar luar negeri, tidak spesifik negaranya di mana.
Negara-negara seperti EU gitu, UK, South Korea, Jepang gitu. Kalian nggak bisa bilang bahwa kalian memanfaatkan energi terbarukan dari biomasa, tapi kalian ngorbanin hutan alam di Indonesia dan berharap kita baik-baik saja gitu menghadapi krisis iklim gitu. Itu nggak seharusnya terjadi.
Belatung otah ayo. Itulah bahasa orang-orang Dayak sekarang di dunia sekarang. Maksudnya itu ini kan susu ibunya hutan.